Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Hank Stohl. For the next 30 minutes, you will see a performance by the most legendary showman of all time, the supreme mentalist who demonstrates his strange ability to tell you what you are thinking. The Amazing Dunninger. Dunninger disclaims the possession of any supernatural or psychic powers and insists that the purpose of his demonstrations is only to entertain you. Nevertheless, his telepathic mysteries have never been satisfactorily explained or duplicated. Dunninger has mystified countless millions and is now ready to mystify you. So sit back and prepare to be amazed by none other than the Amazing Dunninger.
Right here. Hank, thank you very much indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, my compliments, my thanks to you. Listening to Hank as I did and as you did brings to thought a remark made some years back by a gentleman known as Mr. Charles M. Schwab. I had the extreme pleasure of entertaining Mr. Schwab and his guests at numerous occasions. He said, Dunninger, I don't believe that you can read a mind. I don't believe you can read a thought. I believe you have developed a method for doing exactly what you claim to do, but the method is normal and natural. Mr. Schwab, to a degree, was right. However, he did compliment that by stating that if you could find a way to do the things you do without being gifted with a sense of telepathy, is by far more unusual than for actually scientifically possible. So without further ado, with your kind permission, I will attempt to entertain you, and only that, by tuning you into my audience, my studio audience, of course. And I receive an impression at this point from some lady or gentleman is concentrating his or her mind, or thoughts rather, I don't read minds, I read thoughts, upon the initials MC. Marsha. Would the name mean anything to anyone? Calabra, Calabro. Would you mind standing, please, young lady? Thank you so much. Hank is right there with a mic. Have we ever met before, miss?
No, we haven't.
Never spoke to one another before?
No.
Your thought as you came into the studio was that you would try to concentrate upon your birthday. You were born in 1951, is that correct?
52.
52, I was close, wasn't I?
Yes.
Only 90% accurate. What is the year among friends? Would the month of June interest you?
Yes.
Would it be the 4th day?
Yes.
Not bad, is it? Do remain standing, please. Thank you. It never makes me nervous to listen to applause. It's always welcome. To get back to you, young lady, you are interested in music, and that is your goal, isn't it?
Yes.
By the way, you were a cheerleader. You often speak or think of that. You are?
Yes.
You go to Lane High School?
Yes,
Remarkable, isn't it, how this thing works? To get back to your latest interest, you made a purchase of a musical instrument. I dare state a guitar, and you bought that with your own savings? My
That's
compliments
right.
to you indeed. Thank you ever so much, sir. Another name is floating about. It's the last name. It sounds like a first name. I get Guy, G-U-Y. Does that make sense to anyone? Guy. Would you mind standing, sir, please? I'd appreciate it very much. Good evening, sir. We never met before. Is that quite correct?
No, sir. We haven't.
We haven't. Is it true that you handle a lot of jewelry, perchance, sir?
Yes.
You do indeed?
Yes.
And you're a jeweler, I take it?
That's correct, sir.
You've had a bit of upsets lately. Your concentration was due to the fact that you have many repairs to be made in some of your buildings.
That's
you
correct,
own buildings
sir.
and you have headaches.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I can understand that.
Yes, sir.
Forgive me for delving into your innermost thoughts. Sometimes I get these impressions other than those that you are directly projecting. But I do get another thought that has something to do with a pair of glasses. Does that make sense to anyone?
Yes.
Would I be accurate in stating that upon your way to the studio you broke your glasses?
Yes, sir.
Would it further be right to say that you secured another pair before you came here?
Yes.
To get a better look at Dunninger, I hope. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
The man standing, please. Just a moment. Just a moment. Oh, this thing is great, really. Now, to get back to you with your permission, you have a bit of very good news, and that is a letter from your son
Yes.
in
Yes.
Israel.
Yes.
Is that correct? Would his name be, in fact, his name is Alan?
Alan, yes.
My compliments to you, to your son Alan, for having so excellent a dad and one that can concentrate so beautifully. Thanks
you.
again. Glad you're here. My pleasure indeed. We'll be back. We'll be back in a moment.
Dunninger, I would like you to meet your next guest. She is Miss Teenage New York City, a contestant in the Miss Teenage America contest. She's 17 years old, a senior in the High School of School and Art, has attended the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. May I introduce you to lovely Denise Meir.
It's going to be very difficult for my audience to keep their eyes on me during this demonstration. However, I do read thoughts, and I'm going to delve in only among those that you care to transmit.
All right.
I understand, and there isn't any secret connected with this, that your challenge was that you would go somewhere in this large burg called New York into one of the shops and make a few purchases. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And you were going to ask me mentally, or that is, ask me verbally, but you want me to answer you mentally, to describe the objects and what they cost.
That's perfectly correct.
It's remarkable how I remember these things.
Yes, it is remarkable.
You will, I am sure, agree that this audience be informed of one important fact, that we never met before this day, that we've prearranged nothing, that you've given me no information about
None
the
at all.
items you've purchased. Is that correct?
That is perfectly correct. I gave you no information at all.
You were entirely alone when you made your purchases.
Right.
I had no detective running around after you because I really
no
don't
one
know
was
when
following me, I don't think. So-
You don't think?
I don't think so.
I think a lot may have been following you, but they didn't represent the show.
No. That's
Well,
fine.
I may be wrong, but that is my impression. Now, you have three little items, and I did ask you where you brought them, or what, rather, did you bring them with you, and you said you
I
have
have them
your-
in my purse, yes.
in the small little purse.
This orange purse.
I trust they aren't trained fleas.
No.
Would you concentrate upon the first and make your own choice, the first object that you purchased, or article, as the case may be? And I will try and write it here, and for the moment, I don't want you to see what I'm writing.
All right.
You don't mind?
Of course not.
Perfect. Concentrate and give it to me very clearly, a mental picture. Don't look at my writing, please. Can't read it anyway. The price in your mind. Kind of cheap, an item of this sort. Well, this is Lulu. Now, would you remove the item, please?
Sure.
I have written the item, and I'm showing it to camera. Silver bracelet.
Right.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
Kindly show it to our lenses here. They'd be interested. The price is 59 cents. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Solid silver.
Yes. How'd you ever know that?
What did you say?
How did you ever know?
How did I ever know? Have you ever heard of Dunninger?
I'm certain that there was nobody following me in the store.
Can I have you in my audience every night, please, when you're doing these things? You know, with silver going off the standard, and they buy these things, it's 59 cents. Something seems like the good old days, doesn't it?
Oh, imagine.
Good enough. Would you concentrate now, please, upon the next item?
All right.
And try to keep the other thoughts away, just the items, please, that you've purchased.
Oh,
Concentrate clearly, if you will, kindly. Okay. Oh, the price, yes. The price. I'll make this a bit more clear. What was the next purchase, please?
Next purchase
Yes.
was a yellow purse. for-
That was the second one that you concentrated upon.
Right.
But prior to that, you were just thinking of another item.
Oh, I think I was thinking the silver bracelet still. I'm not sure.
Would the English stationery be in your subconscious?
Yes, it could be English, not stationery, but English was part of it.
Well, I know it was 49 cents.
Right.
What is the item?
It's an English dictionary.
Dictionary, but it jumped in between the two, didn't it?
I think so, yes.
95% accurate. I think we can find that. English dictionary, I have English stationery, 49 cents.
Webster's English Dictionary.
Webster's
Right.
dictionary for 49 cents.
Yes.
A lot of information for a few pennies.
That's true.
Now, of course, we do know that you now stated that you bought a small purse, so there will be no point in my using that again because the credit goes to you. However, the price might still be important.
All right.
And with your permission, I'll try to get the amount of money that you spent for the purse.
Fine.
Do look away, please. How much?
$1.99.
Would you kindly remove it and show it to the camera? Very good. Well, I think we did remarkably well.
Mr. Dunninger.
You see, the female mind, thank the Lord for that, has a tendency to jump from point to point, which makes them so much more fascinating and interesting to us males. So you see, the bit ahead of me is understandable.
Yes.
I do thank you very much indeed for your cooperation.
Pleasure being here, Mr. Dunninger.
We'll be right back.
Dunninger, it's now truly an honor to present to you your next distinguished guest. His work is with one of the cornerstones of the American free enterprise system, the United States Patent Office. Dunninger, meet Commissioner Gerald D. O'Brien.
It's a great pleasure.
Here's the name.
Commissioner O'Brien is the Assistant Commissioner of Patents and defender of what we call the fifth freedom, the freedom to think. And I think it's a safe guess to say that many of your fans watching right now can use their thoughts and creations to achieve success, fame, and fortune with the protection of the United States Patent Office. Now, for your telepathic test, Commissioner O'Brien has brought some fascinating historical objects from his office, and Dunninger, the rest is up to you.
And may I have a word?
Please do, Commissioner, please do.
Of course, we've always known of your great interest and support for the patent system, and we're very appreciative of this opportunity to bring to your television audience the importance of patents to our economy. But I wanted to say one thing, that we've marshaled the resources of this great office to attempt to stump the amazing Dunninger, and I hope that after this performance today, you still hold the Patent Office in high regard.
Well, thank you, but let me state so that I do appreciate the fact that you're trying to stump me.
Yes, sir.
And you look like a nice individual. I don't know how that mixes, but you try and we'll see how we come out. You will note, of course, there's a great amount of dignity attached to this office. The gentleman came all the way from Washington to stump Dunninger. I can be stumped. I'm not infallible. I make mistakes. As I stated, the man that never makes one never does anything. But I do understand that you have a document here. Would you tell us about the document? Perhaps the Commissioner would, or would you like to introduce the fact that he has some booklets here relative to the service of the nation? So
I think that might be very well, Dunninger. These are the pamphlets, and I think the Commissioner knows more about this. This one says the story of the United States Patent Office. Commissioner, what are these booklets?
Well, we have a number of pamphlets which can be acquired from the Patent Office or from the Government Printing Office, which tell the story of patents to the American public and give aids to inventors in the preparation of their applications for patents. Of course, we wouldn't have time here today to really delve into the real operations of the Patent Office, but this kind of material is available to the public, purchased from the Government Printing Office.
can we create something and call it the Dunninger Automatic Mind and sell it and get the boys to buy it?
We might.
Well, to get back to the first test, I understand that you have here a replica of the very first patent that was ever issued. Would you tell us something about it, please?
Yes, this is the first patent issued by the United States. It was issued to Hopkins, Mr. Hopkins of Philadelphia, for a process for making potash. The significance of this document is that at that time it was signed by the President of the United States, signed by George Washington, notarized by the Attorney General Edwin Randolph, and granted and issued by Thomas Jefferson. So we have three very important signatures here. And of course, this is the grant. This is the total grant insofar as this patent is concerned.
I understand that your test was that you were to choose 3 words mentally from this grant, and your defiance was to have me analyze the impression as you received it and try to find those 3 words accurately. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir, that's true.
Would you at this point be kind enough to take, if you will, first this one card. Here's a crayon for you. I have another card and another crayon. I'll turn my back while you study it for a moment. And you take the 3 words that you want to decide upon for a point of concentration. Quite all right, sir?
Right.
I'll turn my back at this time, please. Have you chosen the
Yes,
Don't write them
yes.
at the moment, sir.
All
Don't
right.
write them yet, please. Hank, would you be kind enough to take this for the moment?
Certainly, sir.
And now I'll turn my back to you if I may, sir.
Oh,
Back
I
to back.
see.
No,
Oh,
no,
I
no,
see.
no, no, the other way, sir.
Oh.
Good enough, yes, sir. Now, as I say, ready, concentrate, begin. Concentrate upon the 3 words that you have chosen from the document. I don't know how many hundreds of words there are, but he's had a free choice, and I think you'll agree it's rather difficult for me to get the exact impression.
Yes. Should
All
I
right,
start
sir.
writing?
No, not yet. Ready?
Yes.
Concentrate. Begin. A little trouble with that. I think I have it. I'm not sure. P-R. I'm doing it letter by letter. O-G-R. I wrote the last word over again. It's
Yes,
rather
sir.
difficult because they're very similar, and the ancient figures, the ancient letters, are different from our present-day script. Have you written the sentence, sir?
Yes, sir.
Would you tell us what it is, please?
It's promote the progress.
Promote the progress. Kindly show it to camera. All 100%?
Yes, sir.
Promote the progress. And I wrote that twice.
Yes, I wrote it twice. I didn't know
Oh, you
that
did
were-
too? Oh, so you did. Please note that the commissioner also made
I just went over the same letters
the
to make it a
correction,
little
and
bit
I did the same thing. Strange, isn't it?
And Dunninger,
Yes.
the words on the original patent, an act to promote the progress of useful arts.
Well, I have the progress and promote, as you will note. I think that's close enough. Don't
Yes,
you agree?
yes.
Good enough, close enough, and we agree. Now, for a very difficult test, the commissioner has brought with him an early pattern, and this has been selected, I understand, from thousands of patterns. He has explained
sir.
models,
Models.
of course. He has explained that it was always necessary in the earlier days to make a small model representing any type of invention that would be brought to the attention of the government for insurance, so to speak.
Yes.
Now, have I any way of knowing the contents of that box?
No, sir.
Do you mind if I delve a moment with you on the subject? This I didn't prepare you for, but you made this choice from 6 or 7 others
Oh, yes, yes.
that you were going to
Yes,
use
yes.
instead.
We
May I
brought more
mention
than
a few? You had more than one in mind.
Yes.
Did you have a sled in mind?
We did indeed.
A handled sled?
Indeed we did.
Did
It's
you
here.
You brought one with you,
Yes,
and that's
indeed.
still locked up. And how about a desk?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir. Amazing.
How about a trap?
Yes, yes.
Concentrate on this one, please.
All right,
Just
sir.
think about it to see what we can do. Hank, would you be kind enough to open that up? I get a washing machine invented in 1877. I have a diagram with a little handle that turns there. Can we make it, Hank? We've only got about a half minute, but perhaps it's possible to. That's been wrapped well, sir, in Washington.
Yes, sir.
Hasn't left your possession.
No, sir.
Good. There's the little boy. There's the little handle.
And it's operative.
Well, I think that about does it. We'll be back in a moment. You know, there are two names in the audience that have been popping about because both of them are familiar to me and they're coming from another thought. I had a cat and have a dog. The cat was Mimi and the dog is Shotzi. There's someone in this audience that has two animals by the same name. Would you please identify yourself? Would you mind standing, sir, please? Have we ever met before? Have we ever met before, sir? We never
No,
spoke
sir.
to one another?
Never did, sir.
And that is correct?
Correct.
Thank you ever so much. I'm very happy that you have similar babies, and they're very, very happy little fellows, aren't they? Thank you so much for standing. Mimi and Johnson. I get a name, Neary or some such. Neary, would that make sense to anyone? I may not have the name right. It's something about a letter in his possession. Would you mind standing, sir, please? I'm off on the name. Would it be Richard? No. What is the name, sir?
Leary.
Yeah?
L-E-A-R-Y.
Oh, Leary. I was
Leary.
pretty close, wasn't I?
Yes, sir.
Just got the nationalities mixed a bit.
That's correct.
You have a letter in your possession, and you're
That's
anxious
right.
to know whether or not I could give you the nature of the letter.
That's right, sir.
Would it be accurate if I stated it came from your brother,
Yes, sir.
and you're most happy to receive it because you had an appointment on Thanksgiving?
That's correct.
And he didn't say he could make it. He thought he couldn't.
That's
And
right.
the letter assures you and yours that he will be with you.
That's
You
correct.
have a marvelous time, and my compliments to you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your attention.
We hope you've enjoyed The Amazing Dunninger and will join us again. This program has been presented solely for your entertainment and not to foster a belief in supernatural phenomena. Be seeing you.